this morning, and we're going to open up in prayer. Okay, is that Debbie there that I saw?
That is.
Okay, wonderful. So good to see you, Deb. Wonderful to see you. Hi, is that Carol?
We have snow here. Did you know that?
What's that?
We had a lot of snow this morning, so we had people that were coming, but because of the snow, but we Bob, Jamie taxied her here.
Good, good, wonderful, wonderful. I hope Nancy will get on at her house possibly. And Mara thought she might be coming on too. But okay, well, we'll go ahead, and we had some snow here too, Carol, a little bit of snow here. And Jamie's gonna open us up in prayer. So Jamie, would you like to do that now, please?
Surely. So Lord, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for the snow. Thank you for every blessing. Thank you for everyone that's on the call this morning. And thank you very much for Bob and his efforts here, and for the other speakers this morning. And we just thank you, God, that you had people have the vision for this company, for getting the kind of food to us that is based in sound wisdom and science, and the integrity that has kept those products coming, Lord. It's having such a great effect on so very many people. So Lord, as we get started this morning, keep our eyes and ears and hearts and minds all wide open, and help us to absorb and catch a lot of things this morning. And Lord, thank you so much that we get to have that assurance that you are who you are. You are watching over us and loving us. And you proved it to us all on the cross. And we thank you so very much. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, well, thank you, Jamie. And we're so glad Deb could join you guys over there. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, I had to go fishing for
her. Okay. I'm glad you caught her. That's great. Kevin, do you have snow up in Philomath by any chance?
We have a lot of snow, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, we have some, but it's all melted now. So
it was beautiful this morning. The flakes were huge.
Wow. And you can overlook that little river right in front too. That's pretty nice. Super nice. Okay, well, you guys, does anyone have a win they want to share? We have 15 people in the team sponsored this month, so that's certainly a nice thing. And I'll read their names shortly, but before that, does anyone have a win they want to share? Jamie, you got a new person. You know that.
Oh, yes, you're right. I do. And oh, good. We had a man that I've talked to a few times and gave him a few things. He had broken his leg about, well, over a year ago now, and it was not healing. And so I gave him, first we talked, and I gave him half a bottle of Formula 4. And I said, because I didn't know if he'd take it or not, you never know. But when he got started with it, he said, boy, I can feel the difference. My energy levels coming up just on a few Formula 4 every day. And so anyway, he ordered some, as soon as he had some money. He had to wait till the first, but ordered a few other things, and he had not been able to drive his own truck for a full year. And the very next week we prayed for him too, so the Lord gets some glory in this, of course. But the very next week he drove his own truck to church.
Wow.
So I thought that was very cool, and his energy levels up, and he's feeling very good.
Awesome.
So, Yes,
How, how,
I
how
expect them to hear a lot more good things from him on that.
awesome, awesome. How old is he?
He's well into his 60s.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, glad you're changing his life. That's awesome. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think I should read the list of names that sponsored someone, and then we'll somebody out of this group is going to win um, $40 for sponsoring. And the people that sponsored this month was Jean McEwen. That's in Barbara's team back in New York. Mara, Barbara Chichester, Stephanie Beckett, Josie Schrock, Jamie and Carol Wilson, Kat Bonney, who is on. Glad to see you, Kat. Mary Lou Stevenson, Julia Herrero, Jennifer Babkrug, Leslie Hanson, Amanda Johnson, Daniel Hanson, got Minnie, Donna Vallejo, and Morgan Stipes. So you guys, let's give them a hand for bringing NeoLife to more people. And maybe we'll have Janet pick our winner. Janet, can you pick a number between 1 and 15?
7.
Okay, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Kat Bonney wins $40. Kat, I'll bring you the check on the 16th when we're together. Yeah, she's got her smile up there, so that's good. And last month, Brent Chichester won, so I'll give him his check. He's up in Canada. I'll give it to him when I'm at the Wisdom Builder Retreat. Are you going to be at the Wisdom Builder Retreat, Nick? Okay, awesome, awesome, good. Okay, you guys, well, we're gonna move to our first speaker, which is Nick Gavrilov. And Nick is just an amazing, upbeat, cheerful, positive, energetic, optimistic dad, husband, church leader, and an all-around wonderful man. He's growing a great business. I've seen him sponsor as many as 6 in a week multiple times, which is pretty amazing. He's a father of 8, and one of his is that I know a little bit from retreat. She's just so delightful. She's either 15 or 16, and she's building a very successful business. And Nick and his wife, Lena, have been to Brassfield Estates for the leadership training. So they got a great growing business. And we're super, super, super blessed to have him share this morning. So you guys welcome Nick Gavrilov.
Hey, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm really honored to be here with you guys. So first of all, I just wanted to encourage you guys. Like, I love what you guys are doing with the signups. That is very encouraging. So your signups, right? So I did not have like a successful win with one person, but I count every single win as a win. Like every communication, every time I drop a seed is a win for me because we've only been doing this for it'll be 6 years coming up in May. And we have learned that us continually dropping the seed, that's where it just continually always happens. In fact, this week, my wife signed up someone from almost 6 years ago when we first started this in our church back in Washington. And this person just calls it and says, "Hey, I remember that you guys used to take these supplements, and I remember how excited you guys were, and you did all your research. So I just finished up my bottles and I need to order something. So I'm reaching out to you guys like, wow." This is back when we lived in Washington and Bellingham, and this couple actually moved to Colorado, and my wife just stayed in contact with her, reaching out to her maybe once every 6 months just to follow up. So like these little wins, like I count every single win as every time we share the products with somebody. So my win for this week is we had some repair guys at our house this week, and he happened to be right there in the kitchen when I was just taking my supplements, and I'm just opening my brand new box. It just came in. By the way, every time I order NeoLife, it's always in cases. I don't order by individuals. It's cases. You get the better bang for the buck. You save some more because you actually get 30% off. So anyways, I was just taking my supplement and he was like, "Oh, what you taking there?" And I was like, "This is what helped me quit my job." So I'll get to my job.
Woo!
a little later. But I just told him this is what I do. I help people regain their life and their energy back, and it all starts off with cellular nutrition. And he's like, "What?" So I just gave him a quick little 2 minute, the elevator speech, 2 minute elevator where I was at, where we're now, and where we're heading, the future. So I just touched on those three things. And all of a sudden, he just starts telling me all his issues. He's like, I have this going on. I have that going on. I'm like, well, you need this, and just that. And his assistant, who's 25 years old, I didn't know how old he was. He just tells me, hey, Nick, I'm 25, but I got pains here. I got pains in my arthritis, in my wrist. I got pains in my knees. I'm like, well, brother, you just need some salmon oil. I asked my daughter, I'm like, hey, would you please put a few salmon oils in a little Ziploc bag and hand it to this gentleman? And they're just blown away. He's like, man, share with me a link because my wife is the one who does all the research. I'm like, man, she will love this because I think her and I will be on the same page because I myself, before I took NeoLife, I researched a ton and I found it, this would be like the best stuff on product. And now that I've joined this company, I'm like, I still haven't found anything better than NeoLife. He's like, oh wow, that's awesome. So again, he didn't sign up or the other guy, but I know that's a win in my heart because it's that seed that's dropped and all I gotta do is just water it, follow up with him, which is the hardest thing to do, but once you follow up, it happens. So that's my win. You guys, my name is Nick Gavrilov. It is a pleasure to meet and see all of you, those who have their cameras on. I always love to have cameras on. I love to see who's kind of following, what they're doing. What are they driving? Are they cooking? Are they in their shop? Are they working on their tractor? Whatever it is, it's always nice to see people on cameras. Nick Gavrilov, we've been married to my amazing, most beautifulest, awesomest wife in the world. And this morning, we were reading Proverbs 12:4. We usually go through 5 verses. We try to go through 5 verses a day of Proverbs every day. And just a crown, the husband that has a wife of excellence is always wearing a crown. And after our Bible time, we try to keep it short, 10, 15, 20 minutes of Bible time every day. And at the end, we do a quick little four thing. We do optional. Everyone gets to choose. Finish the sentence, true or false, multiple choice or action. And almost everybody always picks action. So I'll just assign them a verse. Hey, you're verse 12 today or 4, right? And they have to go quickly, 3 minutes, plan it out, and they give us a little skit. Oh my goodness, it goes on forever. So this time with my wife and I, we had to choose action and we performed a skit for them. So anyways, we've been married it'll be 18 years coming up. We have 8 children. We never ever wanted to have a large family. Originally, I am Russian. My wife is Russian. I came here when I was 4 to California, and my wife was 8. We met in church, in choir. We were high school sweethearts. She was 14. I was 15 when we first laid eyes on each other, and then from there it was just passing notes at church. And then, she was 19, I was 20. We got married, and off we went to Washington State. We've been there for about 16 years, and then we moved to Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, about 2 years ago. So that's our family. We started NeoLife, like I mentioned already, almost 6 years ago. And this is when we were building a house. And so I used to be a postmaster in Bellingham. And so being a postmaster, I was also a deacon at church. And we decided to build a house. And everyone's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's crazy. Like, do you realize what's about to happen? Like your health is going to go down and your marriage is going to be drained. And we just kept hearing those two things constantly. And we're like, great, people are telling us what the problem is. So all we got to do is just fix the problem. So from that point on, this is 2018. We started date nights every single week on Thursdays. So Thursdays was our weeknight, our date night every single week. And I was like, okay, well, what, so that improved our marriage greatly. And I was like, okay, well, what about health? What are we doing about health? Because we were already taking supplements growing up. We were taking all kinds of stuff at GMC, a GNC, and these other health food, food co-ops. And we're just always looking for, okay, what's great for this? What's great for immunity? What's great for this? And everyone's always recommending something. And I truthfully don't even know what worked, what did not work. I wasn't consistent with them. And, but thankfully to Camp Dwight, if you guys know what that is, it's in Bend, Oregon. That's all I'm going to say. All right, thankfully, Camp Dwight, we've met a ton of incredible believers and families. So we networked, and that's where we discovered NeoLife. I noticed this family. You guys probably know them, Chad and Janice Johnson. So I've noticed them in 2018, just like them like being the sparkle. Or 2017. This was 2017 when I first met them. And I was like, who are these people? And man, he's got 8 daughters. At that time, I had 4 daughters or five, yeah, 5 or 6 daughters. And I was like, I need some of that wisdom right there. So I started talking to Chad, and then chatting with Janice. And I was like, I love everything you guys are doing. Like what is it about you? Like, how do you have so much energy? Like, to have one, this many children, and two, to have so much joy in your life. And he just started naming off simple things like in God's word. I'm like, yeah, check every day. He's like, prayer life. I'm like, yeah, prayer life, that's fantastic. Marriage is great. All these things, drinking water. I'm like, yeah, I try to drink a lot of water. Rest. Yeah, I try to prioritize my rest. 6 to 8 hours is great. Well, more like 7 to 8 for me. And then he said, and I take supplements. And I was like, whoa, that's the only one that I'm not doing like consistent, like every day. He's like, yeah, every single day. I was like, bro, what? Well, I didn't say bro, but I was like, well, what do you take? And he's like, I take NeoLife. I'm like, NeoLife? What in the world is that? I've never heard of that. And working at the post office, like you would see all kinds of packages. You would see Herbalife, you would say all kinds of lives, but I've never seen or heard of NeoLife. And he's like, Nick, check it out, so do your homework. And believe me, it took me a whole week, right? Because I was thinking this is going to be an investment that I'm spending money consistently and putting it into my mouth. Like I want to make sure that this is good stuff. And it took me over a week or about a week, not 8 hours a day, but like 2 1 hours every single night just to go through it and see all the clinical studies. And guys, I've learned so much. We have hundreds and hundreds of clinical studies. And everything I was reading and I was seeing, I was finding, I did not find zero dirt. The only negative thing I found was that someone on YouTube is saying NeoLife is an MLM company. And I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what MLM means. And all he had to say was they're making money off of you. And I was like, seriously? Like we step out of our door, someone's already making money off of us, right? If we go to the coffee shop, we go to Costco, we go to Walmart, Sam's Club, or gas stations, someone is profiting us, but they're benefiting us, right? We just need to have a mindset to, change. Like, yes, it's benefiting me, and of course, I want to bless this person who's blessing me, right? So that's where we discovered NeoLife. We started taking it every single day. We were the product of the product for about 3 years. And 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, when my daughter was born, this is the first time, this is COVID. Um, um, Everyone was pushing, the vaccines and everything else. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not taking the vaccine. But if I'm fired, what do I do? Right? I've been a postmaster for over a decade. And I was like, I don't know, Lord, what am I going to do? And I was like, you know what? Here's what I can do. They cannot fire me if I'm on FMLA, right? On Family Medical Leave Act. So first time ever, I took 3 months off. Usually it's like a week and a half to 2.5 to be with my newborn and then back to work. But this time I took full 3 months off, and I was like, you know what? If when I come back, I guess that's when they'll fire me if they enforce the vaccine. But during this time, so many blessings came out. I was on a run, on a jog, and I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm good at. Like I like to do a lot of things, but there's not a whole lot of things that I love. I'm like, please provide me an income that I can just have, like at the post office, I never made over 100,000. I would be making somewhere between 70 and 85. And I thought to myself, like, Lord, if you can just give me 60, I'm happy, right? We did the Dave Ramsey back in 2014. We paid off our 84,000 of debt in just 18 months. And I thought, okay, we're debt free, everything else except the house. I'm like, but Lord, this is all we need. We have been on a budget since 2014. We know how to plan, we know how to save, we know how to give, we know how to make money, we know how to live off of 60,000. And that's all I asked for. And I came home from that run. And I told my wife, I'm like, hey, this thought was just on my mind. And I started talking to God. And this is what I presented to him. Like, Lord, if you can just supply me with something, I don't know what it is. And that week, we went to a Bible study. So we go to Bible study every Wednesday. On a Bible study, everyone kind of like here, just kind of shares, hey, what's the wins? So before Bible study starts, we just kind of go around in a circle. We're talking about, hey, how's your week and everything else. And so some ladies had questions towards my wife, like, hey, you're feeling great, you look great, you know, this is your child number 7. Yeah, that was our 7th. And like, how are you doing all this stuff? And she's like, well, my friend told me to take extra salmon oil in my last trimester because that's when the baby's brain develops and you want to supply it with so much goodness. And in your first 3 months of postpartum to avoid the blues. And honestly, I feel so good. And they say with more kids, with more with age, like you're supposed to feel, like the recovery is supposed to be longer and all these things, but she feels phenomenal, right? So, so that's where we talked about the products of NeoLife, and my pastor just like stopped me. He's like, Nick, you guys have gold. Why aren't you guys sharing this with the people? I mean, in a way, it kind of sounds selfish that you guys discovered something and you guys are not sharing this with anybody. And I was like, well, I don't want to be that vitamin guy, right? I don't want to be that person that's known for, hey, that's Nick, he's the vitamin guy, right? But at the same time, it started really hitting me because up until that point, I was always thinking, I would love to grow NeoLife. I would love to grow NeoLife. I would love to make those paychecks and everything else, right? And then during that, and in the next 6 months, that's when my mind shift started to change. And my mind shift changed that at this point, it's more about helping people. Who cares about the paycheck? The paycheck is from the Lord. Everything we have is from God. He will give us and he will take away things, right? So I'm a person who wants to receive more things. And God's word says that those who are righteous are in favor, right? So God will bless, God will provide. And that's what we got to do. We got to walk in faithfulness. We got to walk in his ways. So my mission was like, okay, I need to just remain faithful in all of these areas in my life and God will provide. And if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. Like my goal should be to help people. And that's when my life just changed. So in 3 months when I took that time off, that's when we went online. We started sharing this online. And again, we're very careful, right? We took a course on how to share online, right? We don't share everything all at once. You are sharing your life because people will always do business with people they like and they trust. Right. So if you're out there on day one, say, hey, look at me, I'm Nick. Here's what I drink. Here's my protein shake. Here's my vitamins I take. Do you take vitamins? Like it's not going to flow like that, right? People want to see what you're doing. They want to see how you're, spending your time. They want to see, the tricks and tips that you offer when you're fishing, or when you're gardening, when you're walking your dog, or when you're X, Y, and Z, whatever you are doing, it's amazing. You'll find everything online and you will find groups that will love that, category of you. So we took these courses online, like how to share and how to be, how to do things. And over since that time of making 20, 50, $100 a paycheck, now it's, praise the Lord, but it's over 4,000. And
Woo!
it's all praise to God. Yeah. So I mean, all these things that we just started implementing, things started happening, right? So we started growing, we started sharing more people, and we started investing into our people saying, hey, if you have anybody, bring them to me, right? I want to help you get your 3 for free. What is that? Do you enjoy your pro vitality? Yes. Would you want to get them for free? Absolutely. Who wants to pay 55 bucks? Well, give me 3 people. I will talk to them. I will sign them up under you and you get your products for free. And usually people will bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I mean, I'll try to do a Zoom with at least 3 people, but if it needs to be one-on-one, we'll do a one-on-one, right? The ladies, they really like to talk to the ladies, so my wife will be talking to them. So we've educated our family. So we obviously we started off with our family first. Mom, dad, here's what you need. And they saw tremendous results. They're like, wow, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm like, exactly. Right. So I'm like, mom, dad, share this. So they struggled for about a year, like, oh, we can't share. We don't know what to do. And then finally, like obviously we love to get training more and more and more of what we do. It's like, no, then you take the steering wheel, right? And you lead. So we're like, hey, you bring people to us. Give them the numbers and we'll give them a call. It's no problem. That's one way to grow our business, but ultimately that's another way to reach hundreds more people and give them better health. So we started from there, right? And then our kids started wanting to ask different types of, activities. Hey, can we do this? Can we go there? I'm like, well, actually, we don't have that in the budget, but if you guys do X, Y, and Z, we'll go. They're like, sure, no problem. I'm like, I need more emails. So I'm like, you guys go outside. There's 3 of them or 4 of them. And I'm like, just go to our neighbors, right? So start off with my daughter Bella at age 13. She started making cookies and wanting some extra money, right? And she goes out and she's, tries to sell cookies and she comes back and like with a whole basket full of cookies. I'm like, did you not sell any? She's like, no, I think I sold 1 or 2. And I asked her, I'm like, how'd you say it? And she just knocked on the door, said, "Hey, would you like to buy some cookies?" And I left. I'm like, Bella, no, your products are so much unique, right? Again, this ties in with NeoLife. Our products are unique. We can't just offer somebody a product. Hey, would you like to try this? No, people want to know, they want to relate to why, right? It's not really about what you know, but it's about how will this benefit them, right? If someone's coming to me and they're telling me all about their business, I'm like, dude, I don't care, but I'm happy for you, excited, woohoo, go for you, right? But if he says a few things that are exciting to me, like, hey, Nick, these things will bring, will be much more safer for your family. Your children will be, like all of a sudden when he's tapping into my little world, like I'm now more intrigued. I'm more excited. I want to learn more. Like, tell me more, right? And then your chances are you will buy the product that they're selling. So same thing here. Hey, Bella, you're now telling them, hey, my cookies are made from pastured organic eggs, organic cane sugar. I don't use any garbage flour. Here's the flour that I use. Here's the toppings, all these things that, and also let me give you a sample. So she went and she's cut the cookie in 4, 5, 6 pieces. And she'll, hey, would you like to try a sample of the cookies that I bake? They're made with da 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 da. She goes off the list. She'll say it 1 or 2 times, and then it's on her mind. And she comes back every single time sold. In her first year, she made over $2,000 just selling cookies in our neighborhood, right? Just a few houses. And I've counted, there's probably like 15 customers that are always buying cookies from her. And then they asked her, and I told her, anytime they ask you of anything, you never say no. Like one neighbor was is gluten free. He's like, hey, do you make gluten free cakes? She's like, of course I can make you a gluten free cake. She comes home, she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, let's go online. Let's find it online. But you never, ever, ever say no. You always say, yes, let me look into it and get back to you. Same as that concept applies with NeoLife, right? Now she's going to the same customers, like, hey, by the way, what are you guys taking for your whole food nutrition? Are you guys taking any healthiest supplements in the world, right? Kids can get away with so much. Would you like to know what my parents are taking and what has improved their health? Absolutely. Just, and she walked around the pen and the pad here, write down your email, right? So they came back home with a bunch of emails and I sent those emails out and shared some videos with them. And so they just kept going and going and pushing and pushing. So it came to a point where, I'm like, hey, it would benefit us for the customers that we have that don't really care who signs up who. We started putting them under Bella, right? So now she is to a point where when she turns 18 in about less than 2 years, she's going to have over, $2,000 to $3,000 a paycheck every single month, right? Because we're like, hey, we want to help you, but at the same time, we want to see effort. So she's on a Zoom call every single week with on the young guns. So if you have any kids or grandkids that are young, I think it's 16 to 22, 23, 24, and who want to be part of this group, jump in that group, and learn more because this is going to set you up for future. And she's the one who's wanted to get married since like day one. So so she's always like, I can get married at 17 or at 18. I'm like, no, just hold your horses, relax first, right? And I know that when she gets married, she's going to have a steady paycheck, right? And it's something a wife can do from home and can just keep growing that and be blessing other people. So that's kind of our family. That's kind of where we went. That's how we started. And ultimately, it really just comes down to constantly sharing. There's times where we don't want to share. Like yesterday, we were driving from the bank and I saw a new bill. I mean, it's always been there, obviously. I mean, we don't know everything about Knoxville, Tennessee yet, but I'm like, hey, a weight loss place. I wonder what they sell. Let's go pop in. So we're driving back. We just wanted to pop in and be like, hey, what are you guys using for you guys' weight loss? And are you guys using the best products available? Right. So every opportunity you get, you're dropping a seed, you're dropping a seed, dropping a seed. And let me tell you that 100% your sales are always going to come through follow-ups. I'm sure you guys have heard this already many, many, many times. But did you know that that more 48% of people will never follow up after the first time. They'll just reach out to a person once and they're done. So that tells me that most people, or half of the people, well, yeah, more than half, 52% of people will not follow up more than once. 2% of people will follow up under, 25% will follow up on the second time. And then I forget what the other third time, fourth time. But let me tell you that 80% of sales, 80%, like in other words, just imagine this, most of your sales are going to come from the 5th through 12th follow-up, right? So in other words, expect that when you're sharing with someone, expect to know Expect like, oh, gee, thanks, man. I like it. Or expect that, right? Because we only know that 2% of sales happen on the first time, only 2%. So expect a no. Like if you get a yes or I want to know more, dude, that's awesome. But statistically, not just with NeoLife, but in any sales business, follow-ups are huge. So just know that it's only 2%, and then 3% on the second time. 5 or 8% on the third time, 25% on the fourth time, and 80%. So know this, that it takes follow up. For us, I hate that. I hate it when we have to follow up with a person the third time or the fourth time and the fifth time. But we've learned this over the years that if a person says no, listen, I'm not interested, if they haven't said those words, they're still interested. They forget, they get busy, they overlooked your message. They saw your message like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll do it tonight. And tonight ran away, right? So when you follow up with them, like even last week, we had a we had a situation where my wife is following up with this person for the fourth or the fifth time. And she's like, honey, I really don't want to. I'm like, honey, you remember the rule, right? Until they say no, that's when we back off, like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. At first you wanted to, so that's why we're just following up with you. And guess what? She follows up with her and immediately she replies, she goes, OMG, I am so, so, so sorry. I got so busy. Every time I thought about it, I wanted to sign up, but I forgot. And I'm glad you reminded me. I'm gonna do it right now. And right there, she signs up. And I was like, great. See, honey, again, reassurance that until they say no, just keep sharing this. You're blessing their health. You're blessing their future, their legacy, their great children, great grandchildren, and everyone else. Our children have been on these supplements for 6 years. Our brand new babies have been, on these supplements before they were even born, right? And receiving those nutrients through the breast milk. And so it's a huge, huge blessing that's going to get passed down to generation. And as you know, later on, you can sell your business. You can sell this to your children or to anyone that you want, right? And it goes to somebody else. I mean, there's a level of blessings, and I love how this company is built on Christian standards, right? So it's the integrity to do the right thing at all times. So I think that's all I had to share, and hopefully you guys found this to be some encouraging. I'm open to any questions if you guys have any questions, but I think I took so much of your time, so I apologize for that. Thank you.
It was fabulous, Nick. We loved every second. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And what I want to hear from some of you guys, of course, but I'll tell you what I really liked. You said just be concerned about helping people
Hmm.
and let the money come from God for
Amen.
his provision. And that's just very freeing. And I remember when I started, it was much more of a mission and purpose to help people. I was indignant because we had a family member who they had treated for cancer for quite some time, and they finally announced she's terminal and beyond hope. And so we found a nutrition doctor who was saving the lives of many stage 4 people. And we told the doctors, hey, we found a medical doctor that does just nutrition. He's saving people sent home to die. And they knew everything about him. It was no surprise to them, but they said, don't send her there because he's a quack and he doesn't do anything orthodox, no chemo, no radiation. Well, we said, okay, because they were the experts and we were newbies. We didn't know anything. But then we got thinking, we got nothing to lose because basically they said, buy the casket. They were emphatic. She's terminal beyond hope. So my grandfather put her on a plane, sent her all the way to New York, 3,000 miles away. The doctor works with her nutritionally only after the Orthodox guy said terminal and beyond hope. And she was able to go back to work and live 25 more years. So
Wow.
our vote went with the quacks. Okay.
Yes.
And so it would make us mad when these doctors would say diet has nothing to do with it and there's nothing you can do and just get frequent checkups, which is like a passive, just wait until it happens. And we would get mad because we knew, it saved her life, gave her 25 more years. And so we were all about, hey, people don't need to be dying. We got something that can help them. So it was much more of a purpose back then. And I need to get back on track instead of thinking about PV all the time.
Exactly.
Although finance, Nick, when you say finances are important for us too, because it's a provision for you and it'll be a big provision for Bella too.
Absolutely.
So the finances are important, but so are you just saying don't make them preeminent. They are important, but make the focus helping people with what we have.
100%, Bob. I agree with that. And it all starts off with prayer, right? Like my heart started to change and run away from, like, it wasn't the love of money, but it was just more of a dream. I was like, wow, I would love to have enough money to pay for my supplements, because that's where it started, right? I'm like, let's just make enough money where it's paying for our supplements. And then that started to grow. And they're like, okay, let's make enough money where it's paying for our rent, which was like 18 or 1800, 1850. And then we started making over that. And I was like, whoa, Lord, okay, now we've surpassed that. Now what else? What can we do? And it 100% requires effort, but it all starts up with prayer. Lord, send us the people that need to hear this, right? The mind shift is changing from I need to share to I have to share, right? Like we are holding to gold, and we always say that whenever we're talking to somebody new, the first thing we talk to them about is Christ. Like if they are Christians, then we move on to NeoLife. But if not, we're sharing the gospel first, right? Because that is the greatest news. Like that is your true bestest health nutrition in the world, because it's eternity. But if they are already Christian, hey, let's talk about health. What are you guys doing? Right? We listen a lot. We have two ears and one mouth. And not only that, our tongue is behind a bunch of stones. And like God put it there for a reason, for us to listen more and just to hear what's going off. Like you not be the one that's talking. But I love how somebody shared this. I don't remember, but like imagine like like so 100%, right? This is 100%, and 90% of that should be listening, listening. And in the 10%, 90% you should be asking questions instead of talking, right? So it's listening a lot and asking questions instead of talking about yourself and all these things. Those things are important, right? But then again, it's like, hey, what are you doing for that? Have you tried that? Is it working for you? Oh, okay, right? Like you're not here to be you're not here to sell them anything, right? All you're doing, you're a realtor that's not here to sell, but here to present. Hey, I have something to show you, right? And if you have that kind of heart and constantly praying, Lord, I'm tired of chasing people. Send these people to me. Open that door. Break me. Make me more humble. Make me more joyful, right? And of course, when we're talking to people, we don't want to sound like, hey, how are you taking your supplements? Are they working? Are they good? Do you like them? Have you been taking them for a long time? Oh, okay. Right. No, be excited for this. It has changed your life. It has changed a lot of your people's lives, right? And I look at our people who sign up. Most people that sign up and stick there are the people that we physically have a conversation with one-on-one. The ones that sign up and are gone a month or two later, those are hard people. Like they're just trying out products, right? They'll be back eventually. But the more conversations you have, the more success you will have. I mean, that's all it is. It comes down to just 100% numbers games, right? So now I focus on sales, and sales are all come down to numbers. Where do the numbers come from? The numbers come down to what are you doing and how many conversations are you having. So if you want to have, statistically for us, we need to talk to 10 people in order to sign up one, right? And so if you have that average number, and if you're kind of keeping track, hey, I talked to somebody at Bible study today, I talked to someone at Costco, tomorrow I talked to someone there, right? Just know this, right? Everyone's gonna be slightly different, but it all comes down to numbers. Every 10th person you talk to, or 15th person, someone in there is going to sign up. So that tells you like, hey, I need to have 15 conversations, right? And then you start reaching out to them. Phone, everybody's got a phone, right? It's a beautiful, lovely thing. And you know how many hundreds of contacts you have on there? And if you just only reached out to two a day, right? Or have a certain day of the week. Like for us, most of the time it is Saturday. We'll block out 1 hour on Saturday where we just do reach outs. That's all we do. We sit there. Kids know we're focusing on NeoLife. We started doing this and we love it. An hour a week is a must. Is a must. Where we just sit down and we just start reaching out to people. Hey, how was your son's birthday? Hey, I just remembered you had an anniversary. Happy anniversary. Share me some secrets of your happily marriage. What's working for you guys? Hey, how's that new job promotion? Hey, you just switched jobs, right? People. Just follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. I don't like that. Again, I hate that. And I hate that people might think, oh, here comes Nick again. He probably wants to sell me something. But no, if you're genuine about their life and you're, genuine about what's happening in their life, they're going to be attracted to you, right? And I feel like it ties in with scripture so much that our hearts should be burning for other people's burdens, right? Like we should be carrying each other's burdens. Hey, I know you're going through a hard time. Let me be praying for you. And be sure to do that. Don't just say that. Write it down, and every day when you're praying first thing in the morning, you go off your list and you're praying and marking things like, Lord, not because you have to, because you want to. And we know that our body, we forget things, right? At least myself, I'm speaking for myself. I have to write it down. And my prayer list is pretty long. I have to scroll through it and scroll through it and scroll through it because there's certain things that matter to me a lot. But I know that when I'm praying, the enemy is attacking, right? I know he wants to take away all my prayers. So I'm just going off the list because I want to be praying for these people. I told him I will. And in fact, I will follow up with them like a week, 2 month, 3, a year later. I'm like, hey, by the way, how is your health with this area? They know I'm here with NeoLife, but I'm not saying anything about NeoLife. You just told me that you have an issue with health, and I told you to be praying for you, and I'm praying for you. How's it going? How's it working? And guess what? Now they're asking, hey, Nick, what's that stuff that you're taking, that NeoLife that you told me about 6 months ago or a year ago? Do you think this will help me? Absolutely, it will help you. Say it with great joy. Say it with a fantastic spirit, right? Because we do truly have the best stuff on the products on the planet, excuse me, on the planet. And last year, I have had so many people reach out to me online. I've compared over 100 top name brands in the world, not just in America. 2 weeks ago, we signed up a first guy in the Philippines. We have 2 people in Africa. We have probably 4 or 5 people from Canada that we signed up. And a lot of people are asking a ton of questions. So I had a chance to examine the top 100 companies that you will see at Costco, you'll see at Walmart, you'll see online on Instagram, YouTube, or just people in your circles that are taking, right? And I've compared all of them. Guys, there has not been a single company that even comes half as good as NeoLife. Like even half, right? They will have synthetic vitamin E, they will have all these other junks, and you're reading organic, 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 organic. What's this product? I don't know what that is. We have a phone, right? We search it up. What does Google say? Hey, did you know that you're taking this, this, and this? Right? Or the first thing that I have learned, the first thing I do is someone tells me, hey, Nick, what's that company? I've stopped like trying to research these companies because I found that NeoLife is truly the best. And I know you guys know this, but I just want to share that with you again because I've done a ton of research. And I don't tell people anymore, well, let me look into this and see, I'll get back to you. I just tell them, hey, listen, why don't you bring me the evidence? Or why don't you bring me something that why you like this company so much? And I'll examine that, right? And I got that from one of our NeoLife doctors, right? Dr. John Miller. That's what he shared at the NeoLife Summit last year. He says, I don't do that anymore. And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm taking that, right? So really don't care about that anymore. But when I do, the first thing I do is I type in Google, whatever the brand is, brand name, how many lawsuits. And that tells me their integrity is shot. So why would I go with a company that either people got sick, people died, or they were sued for false labeling? Like they're cheating you so that they can get rich off of your money. Like why? Why would you want to um what's the word I'm looking for? Um
Jeopardize your health.
Jeopardize my health. Exactly. Thank you so much for your money. That's gonna rot, right? So immediately I don't want that. Why wouldn't I go with a company that's been around for almost 70 years in over 50 countries, has a clean record, as debt-free company based on Christianity, which we all know is usually the right thing, right? So that's what I'm doing. So that's my goal, is just to continually every day, every single day since we joined NeoLife, it's in my phone and my prayer list. Lord, bless our NeoLife business. Lord, you send us the people. Help me. And then all of a sudden, when you're asking God for things, guess what? Guess what a loving father does? He gives. He blesses. You're like, hey, son, daughter, you asked me for that? Here you go. And you're like, oh, Lord, why didn't you do this sooner? Why didn't you ask? Right? So ask the Lord and Father, send me people, give me people. I want to share this. I want this to be a blessing for them. And I also want, you see how much I don't like my job, or you see I don't like this, right? This is a tremendous blessing, right? Warren Buffett said the number one best investment he has ever done is in an MLM company, right? Because the compound interest, and that's exactly what we're doing. I was on a Zoom call with over 1,800 different MLMs in the world, 1,800. And guess what? We're in the top 10 in compensation. Our compensation is through the roof. Nobody gets this much money per month on off of their volume. Most people, you have to do 100 sales and then you get $250, right? NeoLife's like, no, we'll give you $250 in your first, in your first quarter. And we'll also start giving you car bonuses and we'll pay for your vacations and we'll give you this and this and this, right? So we're in the top 10 in compensation, which is outstanding. And most companies fail in the first 10 years, most companies. So whatever's out there right now, just be certain it's just a fad. It's going to leave. NeoLife has been around and they're going far. I had a chance to spend a lot of time with Jerry Brassfield this summer at the winery. I asked him every single question I've had. I knew I was going there, and on my phone, I already started, writing down questions a month before I get there. So when I get there, I'm like, okay, I got this, right? And everything I've heard was just tremendous, and I'm even more excited to share with people. And again, when you're sharing, they really don't care about all the facts because we know that facts tell, stories sell, right? So you have to just keep that in mind and keep it as elementary as possible. Hey, here's what I'm taking. This is the best stuff. That's it. Yeah. You want the best stuff? Ha ha ha. Joke about it, right? Why aren't you taking the best stuff? That's it. Keep it as elementary as possible. Simple, 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 and share a story or two. It's gonna go far away. So I'm sure you guys know all this, but I just hope to be encouraging
Great,
to
Nick.
you.
Thank you. I do have one question, just really briefly.
Yes, sir.
And then I think I should open it to Kevin or Leslie or Rick or Barb. But how did you find Jerry as a person? We know he's successful, he's all this, but how did you find him as a person to
I
relate?
I found him to be extremely humble, which I was blown away. Very professional, very sharp, but again, extremely humble.
Yeah.
Like all the questions I would ask him, we would just laugh about it, and he would just get very, very, personal with you. I'm like, wow, I did not expect this from a multi millionaire,
Right.
right? But again, he's simple. He loves to give. Like, man, when it comes to giving, my heart just goes far out. And when I hear all the stuff that he's doing, and again, it's not that he's telling me all these things. I hear that from, from Bob and from other people, all this stuff that he's doing. I'm like, man, that's where we need to be, right? We are not a people of takers. We need to be people of givers. And if your hand is always closed, guess what? None of this money, nothing can come in because you've closed it. This is mine, this is mine. But if your hand is always open to give and give, guess what? You can always receive and receive, right? So it's such a blessing to have, again, Christian leadership that know and love the Lord so much and are operating this business.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, do you have a question, or Jamie or Deb or Rick or Barb? And then we'll move to our next speaker. Does anybody have a question they want to ask Nick? And Nick, we thank you so much. This has been fabulous.
Of course, my pleasure.
Anybody got a question?
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
my question's actually to you. Where did you find this dynamite guy?
I was
And
privileged.
how come he hasn't been on before? And when's he going to be on next?
Okay, we'll ask him that. I was privileged to meet Nick at a Wisdom Builder retreat. And Mary Antoine, who's on the screen right now, and myself and about 4 others are going to be at the Wisdom Builder retreat. So we'll get to see Nick in person. And that's where I met him, Jamie. Because he's
All right.
in Chad and Janice's downline. Are you actually under Katie and Elisha? Okay, good. Well, anybody else got one question? And then we'll move on to our next speaker. Anybody else?
Kat's saying she's got some questions in the chat, so you might check that out.
Okay, let's see here. I know one of them was the Young Guns, and that's a group that meets, they got to be, what, 15 to 24, and they meet with Josh Clark at 6:30, I think, West Coast time. Is there anything you want to add to that, Nick?
Well, my daughter finds it extremely encouraging and she looks forward to it every single week. So I always challenge her. I'm like, hey, listen, you can't make it to next week's Zoom because I know she loves it so much until you share with 5 more people. And so always put in a challenge to your children, to your great, grandchildren, because they will not realize this until they realize the effect of compound interest, right? The sooner you start, the greater it gets, right? So I mean, she's 16 now, And if she was a promoter, she'd be getting over $2,000, per month, right? And she's always making an effort. I'm like, hey, that's a great friend, but did you see that this person slightly is, overweight, or do you think she can benefit from, weight loss, or did you see that, she had a lot of pimples? How much NeoLife has helped you. She takes extra vitamin A, extra vitamin E, and Pro Vitality every day. She gets her products for free. So I'm like, would you want to share that? Like, absolutely. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that. I need to share with her, right? So she'll make a list of all the people that she reaches out to. And again, this is to help them to hit, once they hit 18, guys, they have a paycheck, whether they're going to college or music or whatever they're doing. This is going to help them pay for their bills or get married, right? What a blessing it is to start off your marriage and you're already getting, to 1,000, whatever, $500 per month, just as sharing supplements, right? It's a win-win. They get health and you get a paycheck. So yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
there's a couple on here right now. Well, Sigrid's got teenagers, I believe, and Josh and Bethany Fugels, I think they have teenagers. So you guys, Nick's daughter, is she 16 now, Nick?
Mhm.
Okay. And so, see, you guys can't become a promoter till 18, but at 15 and 16, like Bella, they can start building as a member and they can
Yes.
get up to around $500 of free product, which what a huge benefit that is. But
Yeah.
then once, and she's visionary, she's forward thinking, which is great. So she's building this team that day she turns 18, she can join up and as a promoter and start getting the checks on fruits of her labor that she's been working on for several years. So
Yes.
Young Guns, you guys, it's Monday night. I believe it's at 6:30 West Coast time because I'm on a call with Josh and a few other people from 6 to 6:30. And the Young Guns come on, I think they're right after us.
Yeah.
And are there about 10 or 12 of them? Do you know, Nick? Or
Yeah, they vary between, I think, 7 and 12.
okay, great. So these are all young people. And last Wisdom Builder retreat, I met Nick several back, but the last one they had a panel and they had about probably 10 of the young guns up there, and
Yeah.
it was pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I just want to add that young adults at that age, they don't care about nutrition, but the girls do, right? Girls care about their face and their makeup and what they use. So my daughter uses everything NeoLife plus others, right? But she's always, she'll always just share the NeoLife benefit. But what does every young person take these days, which I did not know is so great? The
What?
energy drinks. So she pitches energy drinks to everybody. We go to church, she'll have 1 or 2 samples she'll share with her friends. We'll go to a family, gathering. When we travel, we go to California or Florida and go see our family in Texas. She'll always bring, a packet of Elevate. And because every young person drinks energy drinks, which is so sad. We're not energy drink people, and therefore we didn't know it's that great. But every single person does, and almost every single person that signs up, they start off with Elevate. So there's a good one.
Okay. You guys, let's give Nick a hand and thank you so much, Nick. We appreciate it greatly. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome. You're welcome.
You guys, now we're going to go to a person that hopefully this can work. I think this is going to work here. Uh, she used to be a massage therapist and a physical trainer in the gym. And she was broke. She and her husband both worked full time, so they didn't have much free time. But someone talked to her about getting a check in a multi-level marketing company, and that interested her. And she got involved. And in 1 year, she and her husband paid off over $100,000 in debt her first year in multi-level marketing, which is the industry we're in. And I'm going to see if I can pull her up here. She was going to be with us today. Something happened, and so she made a recording for us. So I think this is going to work. So we'll get this going here, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. She's a fireball. Most of you know her. So here we go. We'll see if we can make this work.
Hello, Sweet Pearson team, and beyond, whoever else might be joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry that I'm not there live. I was supposed to be live in person with all of you today on Zoom, but my son has his Fife and Drum annual meeting, and it was supposed to be last weekend, and the staff all got sick, so they had to cancel it and postpone it to today. So I'm so sorry that I'm not there with you. But I did want to make a quick video and sort of zoom in and give you a video of the things that Bob wanted me to share with all of you. So if this is a rerun, I'm sorry, just stick with me. And if this is all new information, I want to encourage you to go to the NeoLife Business Builders Facebook page and look at the other videos where we dive in super deep. So one of the things that Bob wanted us to talk about today, or wanted me to talk about today, was some of the incentives that specifically target all of you. Now, we did a full incentive Zoom, and it's recorded and on the NeoLife Business Builders Facebook page. So if you want any more in-depth information, I'm going to encourage you to go there and watch that, because we dive into each individual incentive really deeply. But let me share my screen, and I'm just gonna dive right in, if that is okay. Of course, all right. I hope y'all can see that. So let me start with Leading Edge. So Leading Edge is an incentive that's really simple to understand and to earn. Leading Edge is going to be a high value, power packed leadership room meeting at Impact Summit. So I cannot encourage you enough to get to Impact Summit. So if you are listening to me now and you're on this Zoom and you're not planning on going, I want to encourage you to go. The simple reason is, if you're on this Zoom on a Saturday, it means that you want more out of your business. It means that you want more out of NeoLife. And the only way to get more, truly to get more out of NeoLife, is to make sure that you're at Impact Summit, because that is the time when decisions are made. That's the time when people can see the why behind NeoLife. But it isn't enough just to go to Impact Summit yourself. You've got to take people back the next year, and you've got to take more people back the year after that. And a lot of times as leaders, it means helping people get there. It means packing your hotel room as full as you can. It means driving when you really could afford to fly yourself. It means driving so that other people can get into vehicles with you. So what I want to encourage you to do is invite everyone to go to Vegas with you this summer. First of all, like, I'm not even a gambler, but Vegas is so much fun. We're going to be staying at a beautiful resort that is off the strip. There's not even a casino in the resort. It's on a lake. It's really gorgeous. It's actually where the Kansas City Chiefs stayed when they went and played the Super Bowl in Las Vegas just a few weeks ago. So it is a gorgeous gorgeous resort. So I want to encourage you to get there, but I also want to encourage you to get your team members there and help them get there any way you can. Because like I said, this is where decisions are made. This is where lives are changed. This is where you get to see the why behind the company. You get to hear from the movers and shakers in the field, the people that are really doing this, doing it at a high level and making strides currently. Those are the people that are going to be on the stage. And how do we know that? Because the only speakers that are going to be on stage this year at Impact Summit are people that earned Leading Edge. So how do we earn it? You earn it by personally sponsoring 6 new people in 6 months. So you have a 6-month window from December all the way to the end of May. So that's 6 months to bring on 6 new people. It is not that difficult. And even if you're behind, and here it is March, even if you're behind, you have March, April, and May. You can recruit 2 people each month and still make it. The only stipulation is at least 3 of those 6 need to be promoters. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure that this room is filled with people who are wanting to grow their business, but who are also putting in the action to grow their business currently. Because we're going to be doing specific business talk and business training. And some of that stuff is not stuff that we can do from the main stage when we have a lot of club members and new people and brand new promoters in the room. So I want to encourage you to get to Impact Summit To earn your seat in Leading Edge, it's going to be on the Friday that it starts from 2 to 4. So you don't even have to fly in a day early. Just come in that morning and be ready for a power packed event. You're going to get a gift. We're going to have some refreshments. You're going to get to have products while you're there. It is worth your time and your effort to earn this. Okay, the next thing that changed in 2024 changed amazingly for the better. Our Fast Start Step Up bonuses are more than they ever have been. So if you move through manager, senior manager, and executive manager, every step that you hit and you hit the personal starts with it, you are going to earn a $50 bonus, then a $100 bonus, then a $150 bonus. So you have the ability to earn $300 worth of bonuses by getting started as a new promoter and stepping up to executive manager in your first full 5 months. So if you want, a more in-depth dive on that, go to our incentive training that we did in January, and we dive into it much heavier. But just know that if you're new here, you have the ability to earn $300 in your an extra $300 in your first 5 months by stepping up to executive manager, and that is very, very overly doable. We've had people get all the way to executive manager in their first month, and we're giving you 5. So I want you to understand how doable this is. You can put this money in your pocket quickly. Now, we also have a fresh start step up bonus, and this only runs through March. So, this is the reason that I wanted to talk to you about this today. A fresh start, not a fast start, a fresh start is for people who have been in NeoLife for a while, but they are already, maybe they're not already promoters, managers, senior managers, but maybe you haven't stepped up to manager, senior manager, or executive manager, right? So we want you to know that if that is the case, it's not too late for you. We don't just have a fast start step up bonus for brand new people. We're running a one-time only 3-month window for you to earn a fresh start step up bonus. So if you are a promoter, a manager, or senior manager, that means you still have another level that you can take. So if you step up to manager, senior manager, or executive manager, or all 3, you can earn up to $300, but it only goes through the end of March. So maybe you stepped up to manager in January and you stepped up to senior manager in February, get to executive manager in March. You will earn $300 as long as you have personally sponsored 3 promoters as well. Or maybe you haven't done any of that, but you want to. You can get it done in 1 month in March, and you can grab all of this money for yourself. Okay, I want you also to know that we changed the new director step up bonus from $200 in products to now when you step up to director for the first time, you get $200 cash. That is huge. So I want to go back and I want to paint this picture for you. Here's your fast start step up. So as you step up to manager, you get $50. You step up to senior manager, you get $100. You step up to executive manager, you get $150. Now, when you step up to director, you get $200. Guys, we're up to $500 in new step up bonuses when you get started. Get to director, you already have $500 in just bonuses. That is above and beyond your commission. $500 in bonuses, and it gets better. So to get to Emerald Director, you may know this and you may not. All an Emerald Director is a consistent director. So I'm going to go back to the previous slide. You get to director by having 4,000 QPV in a month, and you are a director. But if you hit director 3 times, when you hit director 3 times, you become an Emerald Director. So you just need to hit director 3 times in a row, and you'll be dubbed an Emerald Director, and you get another bonus of $300. We're up to $800 in step up bonuses through Emerald Director. It is worth understanding how to get to these levels and moving toward it, because there is money waiting on all of you. So that director bonus, that's for everyone. That Emerald Director bonus, that is for everyone. Fast start bonus is for brand new people that are just getting started. Fresh start bonus is for anyone that hasn't stepped up through those ranks. So I want you to know there's money on the line and waiting for you. We have the checks ready. We would love to deposit them into your account. Next up, a change for this year is our NeoLife Vacation. So this is formerly known as World Team Vacation. And I loved when I got here that you guys had something called World Team Vacation. vacation, because I think it's so special to know that once you get to the world team, you have an automatic invite to the vacation every year. But even as a world team member, if you didn't earn it, you didn't get it paid for, but you could pay for it yourself. But you could also earn it. You could earn the world team vacation and get it paid for, get some of your flights paid for, get some of your stay paid for, but you had to earn it, right? The way that we've done it now is we're running a true incentive trip to where anyone, not just World Team, anyone in all of NeoLife, no matter how new or how old you are, you can earn our NeoLife vacation for 2024. We're going to Jamaica, and it's going to be fantastic. Here's the thing for the World Team. If you're already on the World Team, you have an automatic invite, and you can absolutely go and pay your way. We're going to give you a trip packet that's going to give you all the information on how to book it, how to pay for it, and you can absolutely join us. However, World Team, below and beyond, all have to earn this in order for it to be paid for. So this is a true incentive trip. This is a true first time that anyone in NeoLife can earn their way to the NeoLife vacation. So how do you do that? You do that by being one of the top 30 promoters, having the most new volume from new legs. And we're going to refer to those today as the most trip volume in your trip legs, because I'm going to explain that in just a second. Now, I know if you're brand new here, you're thinking, oh my goodness, there's no way I could ever be top 30. That is absolutely and utterly not true. We are 2 months into this incentive, and it's still anyone's game. The first 5, 6 slots, like they have taken off like bullets, and it would be hard to catch up to like the top 5, right? Because they have gotten a head start in January and February. But if you look at our number 30 right now, you could use those fast start step up bonuses. You could use the director step up bonuses, the Emerald director step up bonus. You could start working toward those now. And if you just help one person get started and get to senior manager, you'll be in the top 30. One person to executive manager, you'll be in the top 30. This trip is not set in stone yet, but the closer we get to it, the more people are going to pull away from the pack. So the reason I want to talk to you about this today is because you have to get going. You have to set your mind to earning this trip. It is absolutely doable. No one in NeoLife has ever earned a trip like this. There's no reason why you cannot be one of the first ones. So I want to encourage you to set your mind to it and go after it, because the way that I think this is going to play out, there's some minimums that you have to hit, and I'll speak about that in a minute. But I believe the way this is going to play out truly is anyone that decides they're going to earn this trip and they go after it with reckless abandon, I think they're going to earn the trip. I don't think people are going to accidentally earn the trip. We put some minimums in place so that people wouldn't accidentally earn it. But I think anyone that dives in, sells out to it, and goes after it, it's still anyone's game. You're going to earn this trip. So the top 30, here's how it's going to work. It's at an all-inclusive, adults-only resort. So when you get there, everything's paid for. You don't have to worry about bringing money for food, and you don't have to pay for your accommodations. It will be free. The top 10 earners are then going to get an additional $1,000 in travel cash to go towards their flights. 11 to 20 will get $700 towards their flights. 21 to 30 are going to get $500 towards their flights. Each month, you're going to be able to count 250 PV of your own personal orders. So 250 every month counts of your own personal orders. So make sure that you've got a 250 PV order going in every month, or you're just losing out on trip volume. The minimums to earn this, the minimum requirement is going to be 8,000 PV through your new legs, your new trip legs, 8,000 PV in new volume, trip volume from your new trip legs. And you must have at least 8 promoter starts throughout all of those new legs. So I'm going to explain to you what that means in just a second. I also want you to know that if you are getting close to World Team, or you're in World Team and you're getting close to stepping up, or you're getting close to you're getting close to President's Team like Bob, if you step up to World Team or within World Team, so if you get to World Team or you make a step within the World Team, you're going to automatically earn this trip. you're going to automatically earn all expenses paid trip and $1,000 in travel cash just by stepping up to World Team or within World Team for the first time. Okay, if you step up to the president's team or within the president's team for the first time, you are going to automatically earn this trip, and you're going to get $1,500 in travel cash and the rest of your expenses all paid. The great news is our world team step ups and our president's team step ups do not take away from the 30 promoters that we are going to be taking. We're going to take the top 30 promoters and all of our world team step ups, all of our president's team step ups, and of course, our #1 world team and our #1 president's team. None of those count towards our top 30. So it is still anyone's game. Now, let me explain to you what trip legs and trip volume actually are. So look at this that I've got on the screen right now. Here's what I want you to know. Your trip legs. A trip leg is defined as a newly recruited frontline person, club member, or promoter that got started from October 3rd, 2023, all the way through July 1st of 2024. So October 3rd to July 1st, anybody that gets started, club member or promoter for you, it's going to count as a trip leg. Anyone. Okay. Now the volume for the trip volume started counting in January. So trip volume is defined as all volume from trip legs, January 3rd through July 1st. So here's what that means. If you recruited someone, Miss Yellow, in October, she counts as a trip leg. If you recruited Mr. Blue in November, trip leg. Mr. Sort of Orange in December, he's a trip leg. Now, anything that yellow, blue, and orange did in October, November, and December, that volume doesn't count for you because the incentive volume started in January. So here's what that means. On January 3rd, Miss Yellow, Mr. Blue, Mr. Orange, and yourself, everything that you all do all counts for you. And it counts for them. So if Miss Yellow gets puts in or she gets an order from someone for 1,000 PV on January 3rd, she has 1,000 PV toward her trip, and you have 1,000 PV toward your trip. So all of those people that you recruited in the last quarter of the year, they made it to where you literally started this trip with a leg up or legs up. The trip volume is going to run all the way through July 1st. So what you're looking to do is you need a total of 8 new promoter starts anywhere in these trip legs. So that means if Miss Yellow gets started, she's 1, blue is 1, orange is 1, purple is 1, green is 1. You've got 5 that you've personally recruited. But then what if Miss Yellow gets her mom started and her sister started and her neighbor started? You have all 8 promoter starts that you need because it doesn't have to be frontline to you. It can be frontline and anywhere in your new trip legs. You need 8,000 points, 8,000 PV throughout all of your trip legs. So everything that happens under yellow and blue and orange and purple and green, all of that counts for them, but it also counts for you because they're your new trip legs. So you need 8 new promoter starts anywhere in your new trip legs or frontline to you. And you need 8,000 points, 8,000 PV of volume in your trip legs. It can be frontline to you or down through your new trip legs. So I hope that helps. And I hope that makes sense. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want you to know how very doable this trip is. And I want you to know that it is something that is worth shooting for. It's something that is worth running for. You know, when let me step back because Bob loves it when I tell my story of how I got to my first Impact Summit, basically. So I'd gotten started really in the business of direct sales at the end of August, beginning of September of one year. And I got started because the person that was talking to me told me that they had made money. You know, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get something to drink. Well, let me get some drink real quick. I don't know that you guys have Chick-fil-A up there in the Pacific Northwest. I hope you do, or I just rubbed that right in your face. So I'm sorry. So I had gotten started. My cousin had actually called me and she said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about these products. I know that you're a personal trainer and massage therapist. I really think this is something that would benefit your clients. I think you would like it, yada, yada, yada." Well, I didn't have any extra money. I was working full time. My husband's active duty military. He was working full time. We didn't have the money to buy products. And she had told me it was going to be about $200 for this bundle of products that I wanted to get started on. And I told her that I didn't have the money to buy that. You're going to hear that all the time in this business. But a lot of times people will stop right there and they'll say, "Oh, I understand. I totally know. Life's hard right now. And people are struggling all over with income. I understand. Well, let me know when the timing's right and we will get you started and we'll help you." That's not what she did. She told me that if I got started on these products and I put them into my body and I became my own walking billboard, I could actually make money. And I could not only make money to pay for my products, but I could make money to pay off my credit card. I could make money to travel. I could make money for whatever I wanted. See, my cousin didn't know that I needed money, so she started talking to me about the products. But when she heard that I couldn't afford the products, she let me know that she had made money. And that's what made a difference to me. I didn't have $200 to get started on products because I didn't have money to waste on products. That's how people feel. But I found the money to start a business. I found the money to invest in myself to make more money. That is different mentally to people. You feel like you're wasting $200 on products, on buying a consumable product, but you do not feel like you're wasting that same amount of money or much more. I invested much more in order to start a business that could pay me for those $200 products. It could pay me more than what I may, more than what I was spending on those $200 products. So I got started and I was really excited about it. And honestly, I sold enough products in my first week that I made back the money that I had spent plus $900 in my first week. Here's how I did it. I ordered more products than I needed. I ordered a bundle of products. And I talked to the people at church. I talked to my family. I talked to my friends. I put it on Facebook. And I said, "Hey, Daniel and I are starting these products. And we're super excited. We want to lose weight. We want to tone up, but we don't want to do it by ourselves. We want to do it with a group of people. So if you want to jump in and do it with us, I've got 8 more. I think it was 8, maybe 10. I've got 10 more of these bundles at my house. I'm sorry. They have been 8. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend it was 10 because that's a nice round number. But I said, I've got 10 more of these bundles at my house. Let me know if you and your husband, you and your wife want to do this with us, and I will save 2 for you. And people started messaging me. They started texting me back. They wanted to do it with us. So one thing to note there is I sold all of these products and I had never tried any of the products myself. You do not have to be on top of the mountain and have achieved all of your hopes and all of your dreams and all of your goals before you tell people about these products. A lot of times people want to go on the journey with you. Think about it like climbing a mountain. And I mean, you guys have beautiful mountains in the Pacific Northwest. Think about climbing one of those mountains. Do you want somebody that's at the top of the mountain yelling down instructions on how to get there? I mean, sure, they showed you that it's possible to get up there. Sure, you can do it, but do you really want them yelling down instructions on how to get up to them? Or would you rather someone say, "Hey, I'm going to the top of that mountain. It's going to be hard and I know it and I'm going to want to quit and you're going to want to quit, but let's just lock arms and do it together. We'll go to the top of that mountain together." That's exactly what you would want. That is the same thing with getting started on these products. Don't shout down when you've already lost your 30 pounds. Don't shout down when you already have the energy that you need. Don't shout down when you've achieved the goals that you want to achieve. Lock arms with people and go together. That's how we started this business. We got 5 other couples. I believe it may have been 4 other couples, but 5 other couples started with us immediately on products within the first few days, within that first week. And I had made back the money I spent plus $900. I want you to know that that $900 changed my life forever. It changed the course of my children's life forever because I already had a full-time job. Daniel already had a full-time job. We couldn't go get another one. but we needed extra income to come into our house. We had no idea how badly we needed that extra stream of income to come in our house, because you never know when the rug's going to be ripped out from underneath you. You never know when your dryer's going to break, or you're going to run over a nail in your car and it can't be repaired and you're going to have to get a new tire. You've got to be prepared for life to throw curveballs at you. And we were not. We did not have extra money. So when we got started, I made that $900, and I was able to go to Daniel and tell him, hey, I made $900 by getting everybody started on these products. Can you believe that? He actually couldn't believe it. He thought it was absolutely astounding. But then after that, I didn't really know what to do. But what I did know is I had tickets that I had bought to this big event. It's basically our Impact Summit. And that event was in February. And by the time February rolled around, I had kind of slacked off. I had not done very much since I made that initial money. I thought it was a fluke. I thought it was kind of a drop in the bucket, and I probably would never make any more money with it anyway. But I had already bought those tickets to this event, and it was in Dallas, Texas. And I didn't want to lose my money for the tickets. Daniel and I had two young kids, and we never went away by ourselves. So he said that he would go with me, so I was excited. But he had been called away unexpectedly and had gone TDY the 2 weeks before that. So he had just gotten home the day before we were supposed to leave to drive from Florida all the way to Dallas, because we didn't have the money to fly. So we were driving all the way from Florida to Dallas. And he said, honey, I'm exhausted. He said, is there anything I can say, do, or buy you to get me out of going this weekend? And I said, nope. We're going. So I didn't want to lose the money. I did not want to lose the money for the tickets that I had already purchased. And there's a training point right there. So then fast forward, we're on our way, and he said, what even is this? And I said, you know what? I don't know. But let's just go in with low expectations, and then anything great that happens will be better than what we expected. We fist bumped on the way there to having low expectations about what to expect. That is the last time in my life I ever fist bumped or celebrated having low expectations for anything. Because when I walked in those doors and I got to this event, the lid was blown off for me. My mind was blown. I have never thought the same about life and about income and about value and about integrity and about money, about any of those things the same way again. My lid was absolutely blown off. And I realized that we had basically been fist bumping for years about setting our expectations low about a lot of things, about our marriage, about our parenting, about our finances, about our travel, about our jobs, about our attitudes. We just had low expectations and hoping that it would be better than that, but really not expecting much more. So we went in. Daniel did not want to be there. The only way that I got them there was by saying, come on, honey, like, let's just do this. It'll be me and you in a hotel room with no kids. Wink, wink. Like, that's literally how I got him there, which is, ladies, that will work. If you're married and you want your husband to go, give him the wink and tell him that you're going to be in a hotel room by yourself. It worked for me. So then we get there. He didn't want to be there. He only went for the hotel room, right? So we get there. He walks in. He's determined not to like anything. He crosses his arms. He crosses his legs. He sits back, and he has a nonviolent protest in his seat. He didn't want to like anything. He didn't want to hear anything. He didn't want to smile. But throughout that event, what happens at these events is you start to see people that are just like you take the stage. One after another, after another, after another take the stage. And you start thinking they are just like me. They don't have anything I don't have. If they can do it, I can do it. Are you kidding me? They're making enough money to do that. Are you kidding me? They're making enough money that they can help that charity. They're helping enough money that they can do that with their missions. It blows your mind. And about, a couple hours in, my husband uncrossed his arms. Then he uncrossed his legs and he leaned down with his elbows on his legs. And next, he said something I never thought I'd hear him say. He was like, do you have a pen and paper? I'd like to take some notes. Blew my whole mind, because I did not know who this person was sitting next to me. But we left that event with a fire in our belly. We left that event with so much excitement in our souls. But we left that event knowing that those people that took the stage were just like us. And if they could do it, we could do it. So we made a plan on the way home. We drew out our mission statement. We made our goals. We figured out what it was, how we were going to do this business together, the events that we were going to do. We planned out our consistency. We went home, we went to work, and we changed our lives. Over the next year, we paid off $100,000 in debt. You cannot pay off $100,000 in debt without already having $100,000 in debt. You know what I mean? So this is not me sitting on some high and mighty stool and telling you to, I already had money to go make money. We did not have money. We did not have extra money. We had a roof over our head. We had food on the table, but we had debt. And it wasn't like we had made these giant mistakes. It was just a lot of little debt in a lot of places that added up to be something big that was scary and it was frustrating. And we knew we were better than that. But going to that first event changed our lives, and getting your rear ends in the seat at Impact Summit could change your life. So I hope that this affects someone today. I hope that it hits you right where it should. I hope that if you don't have the money to get to Impact Summit, you understand that you cannot afford not to get there if NeoLife is going to be your way out. If you want this to be real, if you want this to be your profession, if you want to do this well, you have to get to Impact Summit. You have to get trained up, and you have to be around the people that know what they're doing and are doing it. So you've got to get in that room in order to do what you already want to do. And if you delay it a year, you're just delaying your potential success for a year. So I just want to highly encourage you to figure out how to get there, how to make a wise decisions between now and then to save the money to get there. The Impact Summit tickets are lower than they ever have been, especially for rookies. There's a rookie rate. You can get it for $149. Our regular promoter rate, for those of you that have delayed and delayed and delayed, it is at $199 right now. However, it's going to go up dramatically on April 15th. So you've got to make the decision and get there. Because remember the story that I told you. If I had not already had those tickets, we would have never gotten in that room, because he had just been gone for 2 weeks. And I really wasn't making money with the company at that point. I wasn't making money with my business. I had made money, but I had stopped doing the things that got me there. I'd stopped doing the things that made me any money. We wouldn't have gone because we didn't have any money to get us there if I had not already had those tickets. So I just want to encourage you to get the tickets. I want to encourage you to make a decision that you're going to be there, and then make it right. Make a decision, get the tickets, and then figure out how you're going to do it later. I'm not telling you to be reckless, but I am telling you, you have plenty of time between now and then to make the money to pay for it if you'll get to work. So, Bob, I hope this is what you wanted. I hope that it clarifies some of our new incentives for this year, and I hope it gets more people on your incredible team in the room at Impact Summit. I'm going to be there. So if you show up at Impact Summit, we get to hug maybe for the very first time. And for those of you that are now old friends of mine, I can't wait to give you another hug when you get there in Vegas. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a super blessed week. Bye-bye.
Okay, you guys, what'd you think? Wasn't that awesome? Yeah, you guys, if you want that recording, because I mean, it's so amazing to hear her story. And, she had dropped out. Essentially, she had dropped out before the convention. She had 1 month active. She made $900. And if she had not had the tickets prepaid, probably wouldn't be there. Probably never would have happened. They'd still have 100,000 in debt, which is crushing depression right there. So she told about how important it is to get to Impact Summit. That's what changed her husband. His body language was like this, legs crossed, leaning back, and rest is history. So we want to get our friends to Impact Summit, get our tickets, be there, can change our life, can change our friends' lives. We already know the community is phenomenal, and that will change people's lives right there, because they're blown away they call it social validation. They see all these hundreds of super mega nice, pleasant, normal people. So they realize this is not some weird scam. They love it. The community is very, very strong. But it can change their lives, their future. Ashley said it changed her kids' lives forever. Remember, not just hers, but her kids too. So if you guys want that recording, see, Daniel is recording this whole thing so you can get both Nick's tremendous input he gave us, so graciously, kindly, generously gave us from their experience. And the recording Daniel's doing this will have Nick and Ashley, but it might take a day or two to get that link. And if you want the link that we just played of Ashley, I won't have Nick's till probably Monday or Tuesday when Daniel gets it up there. But if you want this one of Ashley, like I have a couple coming here in 1 hour from right now to hear about our business. And I think I might play the last 15 minutes. I'm not going to play the incentives, but you know, here's a couple, Ashley and her hubby, that were 100 grand in debt. Over that, she's paid off the first year. And she tells her story and she tells the importance of Summit. I think I might show this in the next hour, this couple that's coming. But if you guys want this link, because I mean, and Jamie watched it last night, and Jamie told me how much he liked it. Is that true, Jamie? Are you there?
That's the truth.
If you guys want this link, email me. I'll give you my email if you don't have it. It's bobapearson@gmail.com, and then I'll send the link back to you because we can start using it. I think I'm going to possibly use it in my appointment 1 hour from now because you guys agree. Ashley was awesome. I loved it. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to emphasize there's 3 things, and then I'll read who contributed this month, what they contributed in volume to the team. There's 3 things we all have to do to make our business successful. We have to use the product, and I think you all do that fine. Where we're not as strong, we need a lot of improvement and help, myself included, is I need to have Nick's mindset that he says is to help people. I'll leave the money to God because he's our provider, but have that in our mind, help people. And the way we do that is move towards getting them on the product. So we got to use the product. Number 2, talk to people, both product and opportunity. And did you guys catch Ashley's, the draw to her was not the product. It was a way that they could get out of debt because her cousin had made some money. So 1, use the product. 2, talk about the products and opportunity to people. And 3, do personal development, which my understanding, I'm not that great at it, but my understanding is that would be listening to Jim Rohn, Danny Johnson, Zig Ziglar, Nick Gavrilov, people that are doing great things. That helps us a lot. Okay. And that can make the business grow. So if your business hasn't grown, like if I'm in a slump, it's usually because I'm always doing number 1, using the product. If I'm in a slump, it's because I'm not talking to people, or I'm not doing any personal development to feed my brain positive, good, upbeat stuff. Okay. So to really help you, you need to be on a call every Monday at 9 with Ashley that was just speaking, and Stephen. That's every Monday at 9. It's only 30 minutes, but it helps us a lot because it makes us feel connected and keeps us up to date. Then every Friday, there's a Wisdom Builders call. It's called Wisdom Weekly from 9 to 9:30. Also just 30 minutes, 9 o'clock West Coast time. That's the team that Nick happens to be in, and they're so kind to us. They welcome us to all their stuff. So if you need to know how to get on that call, get in touch with me, and you'll get an automatic text every Friday. Those are really, really essential things because they call it staying by the campfire so we don't get cold. Okay, so right now I'm just going to read some names. I might skip some that aren't on the call just for time reasons, but we want to show appreciation to these people who contributed to Team Volume. Show great appreciation to them. Nancy Reese had 832 points last month. Rick and Barbara Bird had 1,239. Kevin and Janet Cornelius, 1,284. Brent and Ramona Chichester, 1,472. Jolene Cox, 2004. Mark Ritchie, 2,822 points. Marilee Blomberg, 4,051. Debbie Muzak there in Grants Pass, right on the call there, 4,075. Victor Pearson, 5,000. Jamie and Carol Wilson, 5,212 points. Leslie Hansen, 6,036. Gina Ellis in Wisconsin, 6,098. That's Leslie's daughter. Barbara Chichester, 6,210. She's down in the Caribbean right now, been down there for about 90 days. In the number 2 position is Daniel Hansen, Leslie's son, who is doing the recording of this meeting. He had 10,436. Let's give him a hand. Very, very good. And Stephanie Beckett, she just blows my mind. She sold over 11,000 personal volume about 4, 5, 6 months in a row now. So Steffi was number 1 for personal volume, 11,310. And then people that had directors under them, we'll read that. These are like world team people. Debbie Muzak.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bob, you forgot Jenny Knowles.
Jenny Knowles had 1,511 points. Give Jenny a hand. And that happened by talking to people from a fair, contributed greatly to that. So thank you, Jenny, for your contribution. She has a neighbor that's had mind-blowing results with the most horrific psoriasis you can imagine. So we thank Jenny for helping people out. Debbie Muzak had 9,287 group volume. Victor Pearson had 22,520. Leslie Hansen in number 2 with 22,570 points, and Marilee Blomberg with 49,141. So you guys, we're grateful to every one of you. You all make a contribution, and we thank you so much. And the next time we're together, you guys, will be April 6th. We'll have more great input, but try to get on every Monday at 9 West Coast and every Friday at 9 West Coast. It'll make a difference because then we got good stuff going in our brain and helping us feel connected. So with that, thank you guys so much for joining us. And hey, Nick, you're quite a man of faith. Would you mind just a quick prayer, ask the Lord to guide us and bless our efforts and have guts and courage to reach out to help people, and then we'll close?
Absolutely, would love to. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity. We thank you for the blessings of just being able to join together and see each other's faces through online. Father, we praise you for the time that we live in, Lord, and I pray that you would continue to stir our hearts to see people's needs, Lord, for us not to be selfish in our own ways and knowing that we have the best stuff and we're taking care of ourselves, but also to see the needs of others and to be that that hand, that support, like someone else has done for us. Father, I pray for each one of these members that are here, that you would bless, first of all, this day and bless their lives, Lord, as they are learning and they're growing to please you, to walk in your ways. Father, I pray that you would also continue to bless them greatly, abundantly. Father, send them people that need to hear this message. Send the people that need health, who have tried everything, who have seen every doctor, Lord. And I know that these products were built with integrity. These products are built to provide and give us optimal health. And we know that if we give our bodies what it needs, you have designed our bodies to naturally heal, Father. So we pray that you would send us more people, help us to have more joy, excitement when we share, Father. And I pray that you continue to bless Bob. And thank you for this time that he provides for everyone. Lord, and may this weekend be blessed, and may you use us mightily for your kingdom. We love you so much. In Jesus' name we ask this. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Nick. And thanks everyone for being on. And we'll look forward to seeing you Wednesday. I have a meeting every Wednesday at 5. So join us if you'd like to. And you guys have a wonderful week. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Good to see you. Hope to see you Wednesday.
Yes, I will be there.
Okay, great. Okay, bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Jamie. Bye, Deb. Bye, Carol. And is Jenny there too?
Yes, she is.
Okay, good. Jenny, thanks for reaching out to birds. And that's Carol. Nice to see you, Carol. And Jenny, thanks for reaching out to that neighbor too. My goodness, is that neighbor still using product?
That's okay.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys have a wonderful day and God bless you. Okay, bye.
bless
Teresa.
Bye-bye, Bob.
Bye, Daniel.
That's good.